Hello, this is Aaron West. I am the author of the A24 New Wave. In this book, I look at A24's output and I make the argument that we are in a new wave movement right now. A24 plays a major role. This book has a supplemental podcast where each episode is a brief conversation about an A24 related topic, whether an actor, director, or even a genre. As I continue research for the book and conduct interviews, I expect to record podcast episodes with people involved with the company. You can find the podcast at cinejourneys.com or wherever you find podcasts, and we are proud to be members of the Someone's Favorite Productions podcast network.
Hello, my name is Kevin Tudor, and I'm one of the three hosts of Almost Major, a film podcast dissecting many major indie studios and the films they release. Every week, myself, Charlie Nash, and Bryden Doyle discuss overlooked, forgotten, or bona fide classic indie films via studio-specific miniseries. We've previously covered numerous films from Artisan Entertainment, Lionsgate Films, and New Line Cinema. Titles including The Blair Witch Project, American Psycho, Dogville, But I'm a Cheerleader, Saw, Requiem for a Dream, and Ringmaster, you know, the Jerry Springer film. Anyways, we have a fun time every week and we hope you will join us. Subscribe to Almost Major wherever you get your podcasts. Now proudly a part of the Someone's Favorite Productions podcast network.
Hello everyone and welcome to the Kulturecast. I'm Chris Stachiw and I'm joined by my good friend once again, the host of the On Seagal podcast, Trevor Gumbel.
Greetings. 2 in a row. What the hell's going on here?
I don't know. We're going to be talking more noir films. I know that much. We're going to be talking a Spanish language noir film. We're going to be talking about La Noche Avanza, otherwise known as The Night Falls. So, The Night Falls is directed by Roberto Gavaldón. It is written by Jesus Cardenas, Roberto Gavaldón, Jose Revueltas, and Luis Spota. And it stars Pedro Armendáriz as a alai player who is a real piece of shit.
Oh, he's a bastard.
Unrepentant piece of shit.
Yeah.
Until the end, we are going to be talking spoilers. I mention that only because I'm going to beat you to it, Trevor. I fucking liked this movie a lot. Not only did I like this movie a lot, I say spoilers because I think everyone should go watch this movie.
Yeah, me too. It's
really good.
It's a damn good movie. It's a movie that's very interesting in the fact that there's really no hero.
It actively works against having a hero.
Exactly.
I mean, look, I think, I don't know your perception of noir, your personal perception of noir, but my personal perception of noir is the hero is going to be along the lines of this film, where it's like, they're detestable, but I still want to root for them. With the character of Marcos in this film. I did not want to root for him at all.
No, me neither.
There was a brief respite, and I think we probably maybe had it for like a second, but it was intentional to ramp up the tension. But this is a wild movie.
It is. It is a pretty fucking out there piece of film.
So let's talk before we get into it. Let's talk about the plot. So Pedro Armendáriz plays Marcos, who is a alai player. I guess he's the best alai player. Yeah. In the town that he's in, and he has a massive ego. And in having a massive ego, he says a lot of these really kind of bizarre statements where he's like, early on in the film, you kind of get this quote is how you get a sense of who this character is. This character of Marcos, this alai champion, the national celebrity, says a man who doesn't triumph doesn't deserve to live. And this dude lives that principle to a T. He's got 3 women that he's going after: Lucrecia, Sarah and Rebecca being a underage woman who I guess got pregnant from him. There is claims that he raped her, obviously statutory rape.
Obviously.
Then there's a former flame, Sarah, who he believes to be a rich woman because she's told him that she inherited a lot of money from her husband. Mm-hmm. And then there's Lucretia, and she is a nightclub singer. And this guy, Marcos, gets involved with the wrong group of people, and they blackmail him into losing, and then he gets double-crossed by a gentleman who is kind of like he's working behind the counter at the Highlight Stadium for people betting. He's working behind the counter, and he knows that Marcos is going to lose, so he tells one of his people to bet that he's going to win, and then he goes and tells Marcos that he's off the hook, so Marcos shoots himself in the foot by not essentially throwing the match. And that's the rising action of this film. The rest of the movie is Marcos trying to undo this massive knot that he's tied himself into with 3 women and a mob boss, or kind of like a loan shark who's coming to break his knees. And then there's these like bumbling moron criminals that work for this mob boss. And then there's these kind of tertiary characters around the outside who are watching what's going on and taking advantage of it. It's wild. There's so many moving parts in this movie that I think I probably missed something here already. But there's a lot going on.
And it all starts, because Marcos and what was the girl's name? The underage girl.
Which one? Rebecca.
Rebecca tells him that she's pregnant, and she wants to marry him, and he wants her to basically abort the baby, because he is headed to Havana, Cuba, to join a new team, I think it was, or retire, one of the two.
Yeah, again, they just say he's going to Havana.
Yeah, and he gets her pregnant, and basically he's kind of like, well, too bad, bye, bitch, I'm out of here.
Yeah, he effectively says to her dad, I'm gonna marry her, but I'm only doing this so that she will leave me alone so I can leave.
Yeah, but then
hopefully when I go away, she will forget about me.
Yes, and the dad goes along with this, surprisingly. And he basically tries to plot that, because he tries to plot that I don't think he wants him in her life. So, and he doesn't know she's pregnant. The father doesn't know she's pregnant. And I don't think,
I think I missed a step in there.
I might have missed a step.
Someone knew that she was pregnant.
Her brother
Someone
did.
knew that, right. And so her brother helped. Right, and then he helps blackmail Marcos.
Because she is emotionally unstable. Because he basically says, or she says, if you don't do this, I will kill myself. And the ruse about him not contacting her and her forgetting about him lasts about, 5 minutes? Because they're sitting at dinner and the radio's on. And the father says, turn off the radio, and she wants to listen to it because she wants to hear how Marcos did on the alai game. And then she finds out, and she runs from the table and tries to throw herself in front of a train. And her brother stops her, and that's when her brother finds out that she's pregnant. And her brother, upon finding this out, pretty much wants Marcos' head on a stick. So he incorporates this mob boss, loan shark guy, to basically make his life hell. So the loan shark guy pretty much blackmails him, saying, if you don't do this...
if you don't throw the game, I'll kill you. Well, no, if you don't throw the game, I'll reveal everything.
Yeah, that she's pregnant, that she's underage. Basically, you're fucked if anybody finds out about this. So, and another reason this happens, because isn't the brother the one who works behind the thing at the alai thing? Because her brother needs the money to pay off the loan shark because he was $6,000 short.
No, that's not her brother. That's just another guy.
I thought it was her brother. It looked the same.
Maybe. Mike and I have talked about this several times in in foreign films, sometimes it's just a little hard to figure out what's going on.
Yeah.
Because they don't say the characters' names all the time.
That was my problem with the film. That's one problem I have with the film is you don't really know the characters' names out because they don't say it. So it was kind of hard to keep focus on who was who. So I thought the guy behind the counter was her brother, and that's why her brother pretty much fucked him over at the game, telling everybody to bet on him to win.
I was under the impression that the guy behind the counter just... I guess how would he have known?
That's a good question.
Right?
That's a good question.
Well, I don't know how he would have known that everything was going on without it. I mean, look, regardless, the film is essentially a bunch of people getting revenge on this one asshole.
Yeah, well, and to be honest with you, it's kind of hard to feel bad for the guy. He is an asshole. He's one of the biggest fucking pricks I've ever seen in film.
Oh no, he totally is. It is so. I guarantee you probably have never heard of Pedro Armendáriz, but if you have seen From Russia with Love, you will recognize him as Ali Bey, who plays kind of James Bond's friend or contact in the film.
Yeah, and
I didn't even recognize him in this film until I obviously looked it up after the fact. I mean, I didn't recognize him at all, but he is fantastic.
Yeah, he's just irredeemable. It's kind of funny because it's a character where you kind of want him to get fucked over. But when all this shit happens to him, you kind of nary feel a sense of any sympathy for the guy because he wins the match thinking that it was okayed by the loan shark. Loan shark finds out, kidnaps him, and forces him to drink an entire bottle of tequila, which
almost kills him.
Shockingly, almost, yeah. And he sobers up kind of quickly, if you think about it. Then again, he was at the doctor, so the doctor might have given him like charcoal or something. But yeah, they were gonna just douse him with tequila and leave him on the side of the road or something, or in a ditch, I think.
I couldn't figure out what they were gonna. I guess they were gonna kill him.
Yeah,
I mean that's my assumption.
But then they found out that he had a checkbook for $25,000, or a check for $25,000 in a checkbook that he hadn't cashed yet. So they figured, we need this guy to get this money, and basically we're not going to kill you. We just want your money, and then So it's them trying to get him to get this check cashed by this Chinese banker that is
at the Chino Casino.
And by coincidence, the loan shark they're trying to avoid is at that casino at that very moment.
This movie's insane, right? Like the amount of stuff going on in this movie is nuts.
Well, I forgot to mention the police get involved because as soon as he sobers up, he starts to flip out because he's trying to tell the doctor, "I don't know these men. I'm being kidnapped. Please help me," kind of thing. And so the doctor, after he leaves, decides to do something about it. Looks at the car, calls the cops, gives him the license number, and now the cops are involved. And these cops are so easily fucking convinced. It's not even funny. This movie's fucking just...
There's a lot going on. I mean, this, for as much as last week wasn't a typical noir film, I would say that this one is also not a, quote, typical noir film for a number of reasons, but at the same time, it totally is.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's a noir film with really no anti-hero to speak of.
No, well, I mean, like we're following around this character that, like you've said already, like he is completely irredeemable.
Absolutely.
I mean, to the point that they don't even try to redeem him, frankly. They don't try to.
No, the writers and the actor did their job well in showing them that this guy is human garbage. And there's that one scene in the film where he fucking cements it. Any sympathy you may have had for the guy gets flushed down the toilet with one scene. And I don't know, do you know which scene I'm talking about?
I'm assuming, are you talking about the scene with Sarah in her apartment?
Where he finds out that she's not actually rich, she's just borrowing the stuff from her friend.
To look rich.
To find out if he actually loved her. And he goes ballistic, telling her she's ugly, forcing her to look herself in the mirror, saying her eyes are saggy and all this just absolute horrid shit. So he tries to steal jewelry so he can get money to pay off the mobsters. And she points a gun at him, telling him to drop the jewelry. And of course,
in the scuffle, she dies. She
gets shot. So,
of course. Of course.
Is pedophile the right word or statutory rapist?
I mean, this girl they said was in the movie was like, what, 16?
Yeah, I mean,
pedophile. He's a pedophile. He's a philanderer. He's a narcissist.
And now he's a fucking murderer.
Yeah, it's nuts to me because I've rarely seen any films that are like this. This is not a common way of making films.
Absolutely not. I have never seen a film like this before. This guy, this character is unlike any character I've seen before. You're following a character that you hate.
Yeah.
And
he's the main character.
It's kind of interesting when in a weird way you root for the loan shark. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I was trying to think about which of the characters would be the most sympathetic of the lot. I guess.
Hello, this is Chris Haskell from They Live by Film. For those that don't know us, Adam, Zach, and we built a podcast over the last 2 years that's a combination of film discussion from 3 very different perspectives, as well as industry interviews with the leaders in boutique Blu-ray and 4K community. We started with Dev Crocodile, but over time we've been lucky enough to speak with Arrow Video, Severin, Mondo Macabro, Vinegar Syndrome, Radiance, Indicator, most of the OCN partner labels. It's been a blast. You can find us wherever you podcast, and also actually recently as part of Someone's Favorite Production Podcast Network. We hope to see you online.
I would have to...
Other than the women.
Yeah, I would have to agree. I mean, it's interesting because I like the loan shark isn't much more sympathetic. I mean, take out the fact that the character's a piece of shit. He still almost murdered him and wanted him dead.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like, morality be damned. He's still not much better of a character, right? Like, in the grand scheme of things, in any other movie, this character that you've claimed is somewhat of a sympathetic character, and I would be inclined to agree with you. He would never be sympathetic in another movie.
No. But that's what I'm saying. It's the fucked up logic of this that a person who would be a villain in another film is a guy who's really not as bad as the main character. And this movie is just kind of crazy with characters' interpretation and character development because, the women characters are the only ones who are kind of without fault.
Again, it depends on your version of morality. I look, the way the film ends, I think, I don't think that I think we could have a conversation about vigilante justice, but at the same time, he had it coming. He was asking for it. He was a piece of garbage.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it doesn't excuse him being murdered.
This movie is...
he should go to jail for murdering a woman, for raping a teenager.
Well, he's trying to get away with it by flying to Cuba.
Exactly. There's a scene in the film where after he's murdered this woman who she threw her life away for him. There's a scene where he's in the car with the cops and it comes over the radio and it says, there's a dead woman at this guy's apartment, essentially, and they let him go.
Yeah, the cops are kind of...
bumbling Keystone fucking cops.
Useless. The scene where he convinces them that there's nothing wrong, they're his friends, and they're just, the cops are like, oh, okay, let's go. Like, what the fuck?
Cult of personality.
Pretty much. I gotta be honest with you, I don't remember seeing much of the lounge singer relationship.
Yeah, that was kind of the most underserved one.
The one I remember most was the teenage girl and the former lover. That was the only one I remember.
Yeah, the lounge singer seems to be more on the periphery. And what's odd to me about it is that's the way the film opens, is with that relationship. And then it kind of gets sidelined.
Yeah, you don't really see much of her. You see more the young girl and the former lover.
Yeah. And I don't get that because for me, the relationship that I was most interested in was the relationship between her and the lounge singer, Marcos.
Yeah, but with that relationship, there was no stakes. With the one relationship, there was the pregnancy and the fact that she was underage. And with the former lover relationship, it's the fact that she has money and, you know, he's her ticket out, or she's his ticket out, and all that stuff. With the lounge singer, it's really nothing there, at least on the surface that they mention. Marco's kind of just, I don't know, maybe has a scene or two with her, if I can remember correctly.
It doesn't have enough scenes for either one of us to clearly have remembered her doing.
Yeah, and I think that was the point. They just wanted to focus on the two women.
Which to the issue though, like why not just why not just have those two characters? Why have that third character if that character doesn't add anything?
And especially if I can't remember the character even being there.
Well, and there's like the character like sees a bunch of things going on, but she never interacts with them in a substantive way.
Was she the one in the car in the beginning? There's a woman in a car watching things happen.
No, that's the other lover.
Okay,
that's my point. It's super bizarre because the lounge singer almost acts as like she's just there to
be another woman.
Well, yeah, she's just there, but I think it's more for her to be there to do those little like musical interludes.
Yeah, exactly.
Where you hear her singing, and she's kind of like telling her story about her interaction with the character, and like it doesn't really add anything. It kind of slows the film down.
I mean, it adds ambiance and atmosphere, but other than that,
but that's it.
Pretty much, to me, they were just background noise. They were like setting the mood of a nightclub scene. It was like every other nightclub scene in a film with a lounge singer. They're even dressed the same. You know, every lounge singer in a nightclub scene around that era is always dressed the same, and and it's kind of background. It's kind of white noise. So
I wanted that character to be more, because again, she's on the poster, but then you sit down and watch the film, and she's not anything.
Yeah. I just. Like I said, can't remember a damn thing about her, unfortunately. I mean, it's still a great film.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great... I think ultimately, while the film has some issues with some of these kind of characters being underserved, there's a lot in this... There's a lot going on in this movie that I really like. And a lot of it, I think... a lot of it is the performance by the lead.
Yeah.
I mean, he's great. He is a really despicable bastard of a character.
He is one of the most despicable bastards I've ever seen.
Yeah. He plays the despicable bastard character perfectly. Absolutely perfect.
In a lesser film, they would have had him be the nice guy on the surface, but a bastard in private.
Yeah. And they don't, and thankfully they don't do that.
No, he's pretty much what it says on the tin. He's a bastard through and through. He's a bastard to his teammates, and he pretty much doesn't give a shit about him, so much so that they actively almost conspire to take him out until he walks in the room and overhears them.
Yeah, I mean, no one likes him.
No one. Can you blame him, though?
No. He's awful. Like, he is an awful character.
In the beginning scene, he breaks this guy's arm and has no fucking remorse about it.
It's wild. It's weird to watch a film where you have this character that you just can't bring yourself to want to have anything to do with.
No, it's
like you've said, like it's not that I don't want to root for this character. They've made it practically impossible.
Yeah, and that's kind of brilliant because
it is. It's weird.
It's like, we dare you to try to like this guy. We dare you to sympathize with him. And he's just irredeemable. I mean...
Mm-hmm. He really is. He is one of the most mean-spirited characters you will ever see in a film. And again, it takes a very special kind of actor to really pull that off.
And he pulls it off.
And He pulls it off. It's a good performance that, like you've already kind of mentioned. Without the performance, I think, if he had been the villain in another movie, I'm not even sure we would be sitting here going, man, this is really good. But like this whole film is just him, like all the way. And because the film just lets him breathe as the character, I love it because it really allows him to do his thing. And there's like very few films that are like this. Like very few films really give you a character that you are not going to have any sympathy for. And then it really just goes, you know what we're going to do? We're just going to absolutely put them through the ringer. I loved it. I loved this film.
This movie's pretty much, you're watching this guy kind of just go through hell, one hell of a night. And like you said, he had it coming. I mean, this movie is pretty much what Cell Block Tango is talking about. If you'd have been there, if you'd have seen it, I bet you would have done the same. It's
the way the film ends. So he ends up getting away at the end of the film. At least that's the, assumption.
Well, it's a kind of well-paced scene with him in the airport because the bookie meets him at the airport and he actually stops and talks to the bookie, pretty much bragging that he's going to get away with it, because the cops are there. There's nothing they can do. And he gets on the plane and he's still kind of nervous because, he doesn't feel that he's safe until he's in the air. And when he's in the air, he kind of smiles and becomes kind of smug, as in, haha, I got away with this. So I'm just going to read the paper. He's also very self-centered, because he loves looking at himself. He loves reading about...
He's a narcissist.
Yeah, like he takes the paper and reads like how he won the game and blah, 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 and he's so amazing. And, but who should also be on the plane?
The woman he raped.
Yep, Rebecca's on the plane with a gun.
Waiting. She's waiting because she knew where he was going. He neglected to tell her where he was going, but she found out.
Yeah, and... bear in mind, this is 1952, where getting away with having a gun on the plane was pretty much easy. So,
and she shoots him. She shoots him dead, and then he dies.
She put what 5 slugs in him?
Yeah, she unloaded on him,
and that's it. That's the end of the film.
Well, not quite. There's a scene at the end where you see his like banner waving in the breeze, and then the dog pees on it.
Yeah, and like for 1952, that's pretty hardcore. Yeah,
it was interesting to me. That's a very interesting scene. I was a little shocked.
I was shocked that this movie used the phrase "asshole."
I've been noticing that these films are really like pushing the envelope. You know what I mean? Like the film last week, like pushed the envelope. I think it pushed the envelope with what it was doing, and like this film pushed the envelope as well. Like it did a lot of things that I wasn't expecting.
Yeah, well, and that's what a good film should do.
Right, and again, this is another kind of anti or against the norm noir film. It's bizarre. This is a bizarre movie. It's very much unlike everything we've seen so far this month. Unless you want to say everything we've seen so far this month is nothing like what we've seen for noir. So it does make sense, but man, it's wild. I mean, again, I didn't expect this from this film. So what would you give the film out of 5, Trevor?
I'll go 3.5.
I'm going to give it a 4. I liked it a lot. I think that it's going to be a film that's going to be hard for folks to track down.
Yeah.
Obvious, for a number of reasons. It's a film that you're not going to be able to find easily, but you should go out of your way to track it down, especially if you're a fan of noir, because, again, noir films are very, interesting films. I think it's more important to watch a film like this one that challenges what I expect from a noir film. So I liked it a lot. I think you should watch it. I know you agree, Trevor. So on that note, let's take a break and we'll play a preview for next week's episode. That's right. On next week's episode, we're going to be talking about The Kill-Off. And then we're going to be joined by my good friends, Jess Byard and Mark Begley. Until then, Trevor, where can people find you?
You can find me at the On Seagal podcast. You can also find me at Twitter at Case Neuromancer. You can find me on Instagram at Mad Vertigo. And you can find me in my parents' basement crying daily.
Come on down to see Trevor cry daily. Wow.
Bring food.
Great.
Bring pizza.
Bring something. As for me, you can find me on Twitter at Christmas Claus. That's where I post all the things that I work on, including, like Trevor just mentioned, the On Seagal podcast. Because guess what? Trevor and I host that podcast together. So that's a thing. And we do it all the time. Actually, we do it so often that it's almost once a month. But yeah, that's where you can find the two of us. As for this podcast, you can find this podcast on the internet at Kulturecast.com. We're on all iOS and Android platforms. And we'll catch you on the next episode.